On this episode of the Globe News Report, a new nonprofit organization in Elkhart County is working to help immigrants.
A food pantry and community garden have joined together to better help the city of Bristol.
And an in-depth look on live music in the community since the COVID-19 pandemic. All that and more coming up on the Globe News Report.
In the Globe studios on the campus of Goshen College, I'm Amelia Lee.
And I'm Alyssa McDonald on the Globe News Report.
The school year is almost over, and that means a lot of us at the Globe are switching roles, so I'm super excited to announce that Alyssa will be the new news director next year.
Yeah, I'm super excited to take over and just kind of see what we can change this year. But Amelia, aren't you going to be the new Globe station manager?
I am, and I'm excited to work hard next year and see all that we can accomplish.
It's really cool to see all the changes at the Globe, but in the community as well.
There are more changes happening in the Goshen area besides at the Globe. I had the chance to learn more about immigration and what a new group called La Posada is doing to help.
La Posada will be a legal immigration clinic.
La Posada, which translates to shelter in Spanish, is rooted in the Anabaptist belief of welcoming immigrants. This value is now being translated to Elkhart County.
We are a Christian organization, so we want to approach immigration with biblical compassion and justice, with peace and justice.
La Posada wants immigrants to be able to obtain their goals in the United States, no matter their legal or financial status.
Our goal is to help people in the Elkhart County to answer immigration law.
La Posada will take on those cases and help give people advice and accompany them through the legal process of whatever their status kind of requires for them to continue working toward the dreams they have for themselves.
La Posada will provide immigration resources, but the nonprofit group has one more step before they can open their doors to the public.
The first step is to hire an attorney and an office manager. Once those people are in place and we kind of get some routines going, we'll be able to start seeing clients right away.
Mennonite churches in Elkhart County have embraced the immigrant community.
Sunnyside Mennonite Church graciously opened the doors for space for La Posada to set up its first office here. Piedra Viva Mennonite Church, which originally had the vision to open La Posada, an immigration legal clinic here in Elkhart.
The board of directors want to support their fellow brothers and sisters in Christ.
The idea is that La Posada will reflect this biblical call to hospitality, receiving people when they come into our community, supporting them, making them feel at home, letting them know that this is now their community too. We share this together and we're here to support each other.
You can find more information about La Posada on their website, laposadaaid.com. Amelia Lee, Globe News.
It's great to see the community come together to help so many lives.
I agree. The future is bright for La Posada, and it was really interesting to learn how a lot of the Mennonite churches in the area are doing and what they're doing to inspire change.
When we return, we'll see what another local community is doing to help their residents on the Globe News Report. Oh my God.
So you just graduated from Goshen College? What experiences prepared you for this job?
Where do I begin?
Have you ever been to a community garden?
No, I haven't, and I'd never heard about them before coming to Goshen, but there seems to be a lot around the community here.
There do, and I first heard of them when I watched Curious George, and he kind of helped someone at a community garden. But the Bristol Community Garden is joining forces with the Bristol Food Pantry to provide for those in need.
The Bristol Community Garden and the Bristol Community Food Pantry have partnered together to bring more resources to their city.
The idea of the garden is that anybody that wants vegetables can come and get them, as long as they just come and help tend the garden. And then at the end of each week, or on Wednesdays, Any excess produce we'd harvest that and we'd bring it here to the Bristol Pantry, and they'd give this out with their distribution.
Chris Garner, executive director of the pantry, shares the value of the garden.
Fresh produce is like really prized for us and for our families that come in, because the fresh produce is not something that we readily have or maybe afford. And so when we get that in, that is something that is, one, it's a healthier nutrition level for our families, as well as kind of something we love to have more of.
This year, the garden is expanding its size to provide more organic vegetables, says Michael Ropp.
Town is running water to it for us, so we're going to expand the size of the garden. It's going to be twice as big, so we're going to have 5 50-foot rows now. That'll also allow us to increase our production of greens and lettuces, which we just had a little bit of last year. This year we're coordinating more with the pantry based on their needs.
So the partnership last year, I think with a very small garden, we did like 125 pounds to us. We're anticipating at least twice that, maybe 3 times that this year, and being able to expand what we offer our families.
The Bristol Food Pantry is grateful for any donations the community can supply.
So we service mainly Bristol and Washington Township, and we run about 100 families a month. We're really kind of focused on our backyard community, but we really depend a majority of what we do on our donations.
The commitment to their community is mutual.
I want to make the garden available for educational programs, really anything anybody wants to use it for, we want to make it available.
They're our neighbors, and that message goes through, it hits home especially with our churches, but with so many people. These are my neighbors, these are people next door. We have watched actually people shift to coming on Saturdays versus other time slots now to be at breakfast and to shop.
The desires of the garden and the pantry are to develop supportive resources for their neighbors.
Our measure of success isn't numbers. Our measure of success is, it's always been about how do we walk with people.
Bristol's garden is a small piece of a much larger network of gardens that is supporting food pantries and communities in Indiana. For more information, visit feedindiana.org. Reporting for Globe News, this is Gabriella Kloffenstein.
What a great way for both of these groups to help their city, each in their own expertise.
I agree. Finding people to team up with is always important. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes, it does, Amelia. And when we return, we'll see music groups back performing live music.
I came to Goshen thinking that I'd just be acting, but over the course of my 4 years, I've taken part in all the other facets of theater, and I think that's helped me gain a wider appreciation for theater as a whole.
I mean, it takes all those things that I'm interested in, like design aspects of theater, the environmental studies course I took, and it takes my music major, and it just focuses it all into theater.
One of my favorite live music experiences was going to GBCO to watch the Globe artist Carolina Story live.
That sounds like so much fun. Live music is always such a different experience than listening to it on a CD, especially when you're a fan.
Live music is back in the area. Let's take a look at how they're bouncing back since the start of the pandemic.
With positive cases of COVID-19 on the decline, local venues have gotten back to hosting live music. Nationally touring bands like the Main Squeeze have graced the stage of Ignition Music Garage, a music venue and record store located in downtown Goshen.
We've been booking shows here for over 10 years now. A lot of producers, representatives know who we are and where we are.
Ignition prides itself on its ability to draw in major artists despite the small and intimate venue size.
I feel like we've developed a reputation that we treat our musicians well, and we feed them, we put them up in a hotel, we make sure they have everything that they need. I think the band, since they're so close to the audience too, there's more room for interaction throughout the show. So I think they start the relationship as soon as they get on the stage, or maybe even before, because they have to kind of walk through the crowd, or sometimes they're hanging out before the show starts. And so that connection starts almost instantly when people show up and the band's here.
Goshen Brewing Company, a brew pub and tap room just down the road from Ignition, has been hosting free live music on Wednesdays throughout the pandemic.
Free shows every Wednesday. We've been typically throughout the year, even during winter months, 7 to 9. It's first come, first serve.
The Goshen Brewing Company will also look to bring back bigger shows in a wider space.
But we are planning one. The details aren't quite out yet, but look for a late August parking lot show, sort of a full day of music.
Both Hirschberger and Sensenig believe that the live music scene is now better than it's ever been and will continue to grow.
I don't think live music could get any better than it is, personally. I think the level of excitement has elevated just because people are excited to be back at shows.
Right now, as things are opening up, there's just an abundance of local, regional musicians, but then there's also, a number of those national touring acts that are really itching to getting out again and playing live.
Reporting for Globe News, I'm Liam Morris.
I'm glad that Ignition Music Garage and GBco worked so hard to bring live music back to the area.
I'm excited to go to one of the live performances once it gets a little warmer out.
When we return, we'll take a look back at Globe News this year.
I'm getting my degree from the college named TV School of the Year 3 out of the last 4 years. It's not in Muncie or in Indianapolis. I attend Goshen College, and communication is just one of the 35 outstanding majors offered here. At GC, you will work with professionals and get your hands on the camera in your first semester on campus. How do I know that Goshen College was the best choice? Right after graduation, I start my first job, broadcasting professional baseball. Take the next step towards your career.
I really can't believe that the school year is almost over. Time has flown by.
I'm just so proud of everything that the Globe has accomplished this year.
Let's take a look back at Globe News 2021 to 2022.
In the Globe studios on the campus of Goshen College, I'm Alyssa McDonald.
And I'm Amelia Turnbull, and this is the Globe News Report.
Hide your valuables. Lock your car doors. We all understand the basics of car safety, but what about the things that you can't hide?
Ever since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, companies around the world have been struggling to sell their products at a normal rate. Surprisingly, boat sales are the exception.
Well, Amelia, a very special holiday is coming up pretty soon. It's right around the corner. Has Cupid shot you with an arrow yet?
Dante, I have hope that Cupid will swing by real soon, but if I were to post on Facebook today, it would say, it's complicated. Do you have any Valentine's Day plans?
I do. I'm fortunate enough to have a special someone this year, and they're not named Ben and Jerry's, so I'm pretty excited about the holiday.
These albums, Everyone in a Song Volume 2, which is what's coming out, and Volume 1, were based on a project we started where we were taking commissions.
Well, we're hoping to be open for members late March, maybe early April, but the timeline has been shifted so many different times. But that's what we're shooting for.
Beebs and Ash and Eat and Goshen are two smash burger joints new to the area.
Looking for something interesting in the downtown area? How about the coolest thing made in Indiana? It's right here at Janus Motorcycles in downtown Goshen.
Well, I'll definitely be checking out Janus Motorcycles at some point. How about you?
Oh yeah, for sure. But hand-built or not, you gotta be careful on the roads with them, especially during the winter.
Okay, Mom.
Tasha Friesen, a 2015 Goshen College graduate, was one of the artists that set up a tent and displayed artwork to sell at this year's Arts on the Mill race.
Everybody loves a good book, but sometimes we forget to return them. And then there's a fine. The Goshen and Elkhart public libraries have come up with a new fine system, or lack thereof.
The sibling group started when our mom suggested the idea. None of us, for some reason, had ever thought of the idea before. We've all sang and done music on our own.
Steel Wheels are back on the road and recently played at the Ignition Music Garage in downtown Goshen. More information on the group and their upcoming album can be found online at steelwheels.com.
Liam, it's great to be here inside the Globe Studios. I must say, I'm really excited. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. What are you most thankful for this holiday season?
I'm thankful for getting through this semester, and I owe that to my family and friends and my mentors on campus.
If you're okay with a short drive, then look no further to Fashion Farm in Ligonier, a must-add stop for any fall fun adventure. Spring has sprung, and there is a lot to do in the Goshen area during springtime.
Yeah, having grown up in this area, I can for sure say that there's so many great activities to participate in here in the Goshen community. There's so many great places to go.
Oh, for sure, and we have a list of 5 places that you should check out for the springtime.
The first one, Pumpkin Vine Nature Trail.
If you have a Prius, look into one of those protectors. I would say park them in a light. The biggest tip, and what I get from if there's things on the inside of your vehicle, is lock them in the trunk.
It's great to be here with you this morning, Amelia. So Halloween is coming up, and I have to ask, what is your Halloween costume gonna be?
So I'm actually going with a group, and we're going to be lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! So I'm going as a panda bear this year. What about you, Gabby? I love looking back at everything we've done this year. We have grown so much.
And we'll be growing a lot more next year, and we'll be doing even more.
The future is bright for Globe News.
Thanks for joining us today. That's it for this episode of the Globe News Report. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at 91.1 The Globe and our website, globeradio.org, for more local content. Until next time, this has been the Globe News Report.